I'll be everybody in a second. I'll link my I'll link my stuff later. Okay. Are we good to go? I moved to silver. I just haven't unmuted you guys yet. See, hello.
5 of my new games were Vampire Survivors, Sekiro,
Yeah, Master Duel and Vampire Survivors are big for me on mine. I'll link mine later. Chained Echoes isn't there because I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah, most of my games I've played on Game
some of my
Pass this
stuff,
year.
I've been doing a lot of stuff on Game Pass. Like the stuff I've beaten's on that lately.
I played DR2 this year. That was like my big one. That and beating Tales of Arise.
Hi everybody, welcome. It's week 9. We got 4 shows left, but before that, strong language and spoilers abound. We are gonna be talking about some things we've did. I'm gonna get
Christmas.
Yeah, also Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays.
We you know, we're here now today because we wouldn't do it during the season during the holiday time. I'm gonna go grab my stream messages.
Holy fuck, Bug Snacks is one of my 24 new games this year.
Yeah, it did indeed come out. It did indeed come out this year.
Long.
Yes, it did. Hey, did you know next year's insane for video games, guys?
Every year is insane for video games.
Do you know what the first half of next year looks like for new releases? It is
Here's
crazy.
the Kingdom's coming out at some point.
Fire Emblem Engage comes out in 2 weeks.
Yippee. Yeah.
That's nuts.
I bought a board game today. I need some more money, please.
16 comes out next year. Fucking Breath of the Wild 2 comes out next year. There's so much shit that comes out, and oof, video games are going to be a time. So we are on episode 11 of everything. That is just a note for those. Please do not spoil the last episodes. You will be, like, nuked from orbit. If you dare do those to us. So let's quick run through some stuff that I've been up to. Firstly, I'm gonna get the big one out of the way. I've been playing a shit ton more of Chained Echoes. This game is really a love letter to JRPGs. A lot of the characters make me go, oh, you are this character type. And I was talking to a buddy about it, and he was like, it's like a new, fresh JRPG experience. I was like, kind of, like he was like, it's like, he asked me, is it nice to see it do like new concepts? And I was like, it kind of does. Like that, it really feels like it pulls a lot of the things you're used to in JRPGs and then uses it in a really well done kind of new experience, at least from something I've played. The idea of Chained Echoes, which I'm fine talking about because it gets introduced fairly early. 2 of the party members of your game, your two of your central characters, Glenn and Lene, both have this thing where they get visions and like voices in their heads, that tell them things or show them visions. And what you find out is that in this world, Ether, which was once called Mana. They have a book that tells you that it used to be called Mana, but it is now called Ether. Ether is like the life essence of the world, very JRPG.
Classic.
And when someone dies, their ether goes into the maelstrom. And like
the
goes
life stream.
Yes, and yes, it goes back to the planet. But there are certain people who developed a way to send their ether into the maelstrom and then have it basically reincarnate into a new vessel, so that a person will have an echo of a previous life in them. So 2 of the party members have echoes, and those are very important to the plot of, like, that is a crucial plot of this game, is that those 2 people have echoes and what that means for them. the way this game handles its characters is wonderful. I was talking last week and to people who have seen me play it that there was a period of time where the only character I trust in this party is the character who I feel the game is supposed to be like, hey, they're the thief, the rogue, the kind of like shady person, but you can very obviously tell she's not a bad person. In fact, she's probably the most hard, like pretty clear moral line you have for a lot of the game, where she has boundaries she won't overstep. She gets to do a lot of funny things. There is a scene where your party gets locked inside a jail cell, and the person who does that monologues to you, and then she just unlocks the door. And it's really funny because they don't tell you whether she pickpocketed the key off him or whether she just picked the lock while he was talking. Either is very funny. She is wonderful. There are some concepts for characters and races that I think are really, really cool in this world. There's a slime race, or like a jello like people, they call them. That just they don't have a gender, they just exist. There is a race of lizard folks that just reproduce asexually, and the one that you get in your party constantly refers to themselves as they them. And the reasons for that are insane, and there are just so many elements of each of the characters' stories that line up so well as the game builds towards its conclusion. I'm somewhere between, and this is just because I don't remember my time on the game, I'm somewhere between 40 to 50 hours into this game, which, from the way people were talking about it, sounded like it was going to be like a 25 hour game. This could just be that I am literally doing everything that I can, and I wander around a lot and just kind of like engage with the overworld and try to do things even if I'm not supposed to right away. I hit the point of the game where they give you your mechs back. This game has aerial supremacy combat, just like Alfheim. You get introduced to this in the first 10 minutes of the game, where it goes, this is a thing called a sky armor. It's a Gundam. Do combat in your Gundam. And I mentioned this before.
No Gundams allowed.
I mentioned this before, that out of Gundam you have this overdrive bar that you want to stay in the green for and not go into the red. In the sky armor fights, you have your area in the middle you want to be in, and you don't want to be on either of the two sides. And the mechs have 3 gears. It has 0, where you gain your TP back faster when you just but you can only use a basic attack. You have your gear 1, which will push your bar to the right, and your stuff will do a little more damage. And you have your gear 2, where you'll deal a lot of damage, but your abilities will cost more, and it will push your bar to the left. Anytime you get hit, it pushes your bar to the right, so you have to have like a good balance of knowing where you want to be, because going into like your overheat area will burn your TP and will cause you to take more damage. There are a couple of fights in this game that are brutal, that make you go, oh, I should not be here. And I ran into a couple of those. I found a super boss that very much made me feel that, in which the boss's gimmick is they have 3 things they do in combat. One is a move that auto-KOs 2 of your party members. One is a move that will drop your entire party to 1 HP. And the other is they will move back in the field and approach, because they're an assassin character, and approach the character you're trying to save. And they will move back 3 times. Every time they move back, so they'll move back once, they'll move back the first time, nothing happens. Second time they move back, they'll spawn a duplicate that will heal them. The third time they spawn a duplicate that does a wide area attack. So if you aren't healing your party by the time the third one comes out and they do the drop you to 1 AP, your whole party wipes. If it's set up in that way. And then if they get to move back the 4th time, you lose the fight because they hit their target. So you have, at max, if you don't mess with their agility or turn count, you have maybe 9 actions that they get to take, and then on their 10th action, you will lose the fight. but the game does have abilities and systems to let you win this fight. I just, when I got to it, was not at the level or had invested in the things I needed to do that. I basically banged my head on a wall for about an hour and a half trying it and was like, nope, can't do this yet. The game will eventually give you 2 very clear tank characters, both of which are aggro-based tanks, where it goes, I will aggro, and I will pull hits from my allies. One's physical, one's a magical tank. I am not very good at using the physical tank. I'm a lot better at using the magical tank. I don't know why that is. I think it's just easier to set up the magical tank than it is to set up the physical tank in the game. All these characters are lovely. The environments are really cool. The special monsters that you get, there's about 2 in each overworld area, and there's like 5 or 6 overworld areas, maybe 7 in total. Those are all are like goofy named things. For instance, one of the this is the one I'll share. There is a special enemy whose name is Gold D Waterfly. Which or Golden D Waterfly, which is very clearly a One Piece reference. With the way it is spelled.
What do you mean?
And there are just other goofy things like that. I haven't fought him yet, but there is Bog the Real Gob, or Bog the True Gob, who you can only fight once you have eliminated and literally purged from existence every other goblin in the game. This game does a lot of really silly things, and I love it.
We love Goblin Genocide.
Most importantly, airship overworld travel at some point. You get to use your sky armor to traverse maps, and it basically lets you go back to areas and re-explore stuff and find, some of the special encounters. It really feels like a love letter to JRPGs. I think its weakest point is its soundtrack, and even then its soundtrack is good. It just hasn't anything yet that really hits me as like, this is an outstanding, incredible song. It is something that this game turned me around on the character I like least, and made me look at a character and go, you are the absolute worst human being out of the entire cast, but you feel some of the best written character of the group. There is a character who is I am going to stab you in the back, and the levels to which they do so are immense. And the things that come out of that are ridiculous. And this game does not pull its punches. There are moments where you go, oh, that character's gonna die, aren't they? Or this group of characters are going to die. And then they show you it and you go, oh my. It's pixel art kind of ish. So it's not like gruesome, but there will be moments where a character will pull out a dagger and you go, oh no. I know where this is going. I love this game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to beat it. I very much hit end game at this point. I have very few things left to do. Other things I did. Michael and I watched the new episode of Ghost Game. That episode ruled. That episode was certainly an episode where you go, oh, this thing is going to have to happen, huh? And then it does, and you go fucking rad. And the vocal track they play during it slaps.
We got a new vocal track.
It also did another one of those, oh man, the plot's here. We'll see the plot later. It's coming back, I swear.
Yeah, we'll see it again in 20 more episodes.
Probably. Also, this episode just looked, like, visually insane. Like, the art direction...
They've been doing this episode for a while. This one's been in the...
Yeah, there are moments where you're, like, the characters will look a certain way that's very different from how, like, certain other episodes, and you go, oh, this is gonna be a good episode. Speaking of Digimon, Michael and I chugged, I think, 3 or 4 more episodes of Tamers. We're an end stretch of that.
God, Tamers is fucking...
Yeah.
It's something. It's like doing some crazy bullshit.
We have
I need to watch that. I need to go back and start watching that again with you, Sean.
We have hit the point now where something is very particularly very horrifying and also very funny because of how it gets framed in certain shots where Michael
It's
will
so horrifying to a point where it's like, wait a second.
the camera will go to the shot and Michael will go, "Don't show me that. Get off that. I don't want to see that." And there'll just be moments where, like, you'll have the characters just interacting, doing stuff, and then it'll just pan slightly, and you'll see the thing in the background, and you'll go, guys, we have to clearly address the fact that this thing is not okay. It exists, and it should not. And we are really approaching the end of Tamers for Michael and I. I think we like maybe 9 episodes left. If even that. So I'm excited for him to experience it because it only gets worse. Which is a crazy thing to say.
Things that I got something like that I've been watching.
I started my group that I watch Stranger Things with. Since we finished that, we started watching Vikings. We are 3 episodes in. That is a show. It is very clear to me why a lot of people who watch Game of Thrones immediately go to Vikings afterwards. If you have, I'm gonna go grab a photo. Because I think it is important for you to see the main character of Vikings' eyes. Also, if you have watched Vinland Saga, there are a lot of similarities between these two, which is not surprising. I believe.
Let's say, who would have guessed?
I believe they cover basically kind of the same set of people because it's about the same time period. I need to look up a very particular. The main character's eyes. They do a thing with it where in certain scenes his eyes are very, very blue. And it's a very interesting choice, and I'm excited to see why they're doing it. Here you guys go. Did that go?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
Blue Eye, White Dragon.
They are blue.
Like, they make his eyes very blue. Like, no one else. There's a really funny moment where in the show, they talk to his son and they go, "You got your father's eyes." And we all looked at him and we go, "No, he fucking doesn't." His eyes are not the color of the ocean. There are also some really funny moments where, like, in the first 2 episodes where he sees Odin, and it's just like, and like there was a scene where he leaves his house to go take a piss outside, and there's just a raven, and then he just sees Odin walking by, and it's like, man, Odin's just out here like, nice cock, dude. Just taking a stroll to tell you how nice your cock looks. I don't know, like that is how that scene feels to be framed. I bought a Fire Emblem-like game on PC that was on sale, like really, really dirt cheap. I did the first map of it. It's very interesting. It doesn't seem like it has weapon durability, but it has 4 different styles of weapon that you can use and switch between. I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm gonna check it out more. I'll dig up its name when I play a little more of it. I think I'm caught up on JJK and Chainsaw Man.
I'm like one behind you,
Things
Chainsaw Man.
happened.
JJK things happen.
Things happened. Again.
Things happen in Chainsaw Man too. We are introduced to some characters. And a fan favorite returns, kind of. That's a silly thing to say, but a thing happens.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's also really funny to have a particular character be in a situation and for everyone to be like, "You're useless, get out of here," and you just go, "Man, is this gonna feel real good when they actually come back to do shit for you?" Because every character's like, "We don't need you, go fuck off," and they're just like, "Sure, I guess I'm the only one who actually knows what the fuck's going on here, but I'll go fuck off if you like." I love it. Go ahead, guys. What's everyone else been up to?
John had a thing he wanted to say.
Yeah, you said you had a thing that was kind of creepy. Or, like, off the Digimon Tamers thing, you had a thing tied to. John?
Oh, yeah, I've also watched a show that supposedly gets worse as it goes later. We started watching Darling in the Franxx.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a very different kind of experience.
So far, it's something. It's a show.
I
I
remember...
do like making
Sugar
sexual
anime.
innuendos while talking about being mounted.
I remember not liking a lot of that supporting cast for a
All I
lot
can
of
say is like
that
every
show.
episode, I just go get in the woman, Shinji. But yeah, no, it's a show. We finished watching Snafu. This is the next one on the list. And
I'm sorry.
now we're going through Darling, and that'll be a fun one. We started Wednesday. Everyone's been hyping that up on Netflix. I watched the first episode. It was okay. See how that goes. What else have I been doing? Let's see. Got some new games. Got Elden Ring that I'll play on Steam at some point. I got Wingspan on Steam. Fantastic board game. Highly recommend it. If anyone wants to play it, it plays pretty alright through Steam Share or through like Steam. Whatchamacallit, like
Play.
you can like Steam Play. But that one's pretty good. What else did I do? I bought a Steam Deck. That'll be fun. Got the new monitors for Christmas. Went to the Detroit to do today. Got this guy. He's cool. He got a little hat. Chilling. What else did I get? Oh, I got a really cool Christmas gift that I have to show off from this person. So it was my Christmas gift this year. It was a box. Oh my god, it fell apart. And it fell apart. Okay, well that's unfortunate. But it's a big shadow box. It had all 8 copies of. Wow, that fell apart on me, huh? That's funny.
I think I found our first ever YouTube short I'll have to make.
We did it.
I got
You
the-
Reddit.
Yeah, at the time. Now it's a nice mess on my floor. But it has all
Holy
8 copies of Bunny Girl Senpai in it. Very cute. Anyways, Mason, what have you been up to?
Excuse me. I was down in Miami for Christmas. I was celebrating it with my girlfriend. It was a great time. The fun thing was that cold front that went through basically the entire United States that put Michigan into a blizzard. I missed that. I missed the blizzard part of it. However, I did not miss the very cold temperatures that got all the way down to Miami, Florida, where it was 30 to 40 degrees in houses that don't have heat. So that was cool.
God, it's so funny. You go, yeah, cold temperatures, 30, 40. But I know it's very cold for down there. It's just funny.
Yes. So like it's very cold for down there. I could deal with it, but it was just like because of the fact that the house the house did not have heat. It was like, oh, it's cold.
Yeah, now imagine being in a house that has heat while it's negative 11 outside thanks to the wind chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dropped. It was like 7. It feels like negative 11. I was like, this is great.
Oh, it was while I was gone, it was negative 31 in my hometown
Woo!
for wind chill.
It got so cold up here that since our freezer was too packed, we literally put stuff inside a box and just put it out on the porch, and it kept stuff cold.
Oh yeah, no. There were a ton of videos of people. There was one specifically there was like a cooler outside, like one of those like Gatorade cooler things where you like pull it off. And they took it off the shelf and turned, and by the time they turned, the water in it froze. So it was warmer in a cooler than it was outside. When I was down there, we finished House of Dragons. That show's really good. I'm very excited for the second season because it's going to be interesting. We went and saw Avatar 2. That was certainly a movie.
Blue Man Group goes to SeaWorld.
I did enjoy it. It definitely did not need to be a 3.5-hour movie, but I enjoyed it. I don't remember if I did this before last podcast or not, but I beat Tales of Arise.
Yes, you talked
Yeah,
last
Yeah,
week
you
about
had done that.
Yep. And that's about it. We just watched a lot of movies while I was down there. It was a good time. It was very nice to spend that week with my girlfriend. Um, Aside from that, I just had work today. Today was my first day back. It was my mom's birthday, so I wished her a happy birthday. Um, and I get to spend this weekend around and picking up gifts that I was not here to receive on Christmas.
Hey,
But-
so oh yeah.
No, I was just saying that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't done a whole lot because with Christmas and stuff happening, I've been dealing with having to hang out with family and set
Yeah.
up and prep for all of that. Because being an Italian, Christmas Eve is we literally spend the entire fucking day cooking. So yeah, and then the 2 days
People
before it
build
are
it stronger.
prepping food for it / prepping the house and making sure it's clean so we can do things. But on Christmas, I got one of my favorite gifts I got was this. Got a very cool
Yo,
dice
that's
set.
a this.
It's a cool ass dice
That's
set.
base.
I got more stuff I'll talk about when I'm done fixing the box. It was my favorite gift that I just broke.
Also, the chair I've been in for like 3 weeks at this point was also technically a Christmas gift. I just got it early. But yeah, good chair.
Good chair.
I got a whole lot of clothes, but like that was pretty poggers because I've recently lost a lot of weight, so none of
Yep.
my clothes fit. So yeah, I needed a lot of new clothes, and that was really cool. One of the things I've done, I also earlier today I saw Blue Man Group go to SeaWorld.
Ooh.
It's a good movie. It's not that up there for me in terms of like favorite movies of all time or anything. It's a pretty movie. The plot exists. It's a solidly written plot. It definitely feels like one of those movies that's like built to win awards, I guess, is a way
Yeah.
to feel
Yeah.
about it. Like, it's certainly, this movie's definitely gonna be in like every single fucking Oscars nomination, and probably win a lot of them.
I'm fine if it wins visual effects. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything else,
Yeah. I play a little bit more Celeste. I have every single B-side minus Core done now.
Fixed it.
Core is a fucking bitch and a half. Core B-sides, hell. But it's good. Good game. But God, is it hard.
Good hell.
I also played a little bit more Sonic Frontiers, as in I finished the third island. And God, is the third island the epitome of everything I dislike about this game.
That is what I've heard from basically
The
everyone
third-
who's talked about it.
The third island has this really bad issue of anytime you accidentally run into a speed boost or a bumper or anything that's randomly on the ground, it puts you into a fucking 2D section.
Yep.
In the open world.
Let's go.
And to leave those 2D sections, you have to fucking jump backwards and dodge the stuff that puts you into them. Because you can't just like walk away from them. You have to finish it or walk backwards. And God, does that suck.
Hi, this current
Also,
Sonic team.
the third island is the most boring designed island. It's just a gray fucking volcano.
Yep, that's what I've heard. And it has
Yeah,
really
Chaos
weird.
Island's very not good.
It has really weird go between, doesn't it? Like between both the other islands and like to different parts of itself.
Well, there are no. I don't think there's a way to like actually travel between the islands. It isn't like a quick travel system. I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
gone back to the other islands yet because I finished them.
Fair.
I've been 100%ing every island. Except you can't 100% chaos on your first run through it because you don't have something yet. One of your special abilities isn't unlocked yet to get the full map,
Mhm.
which is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This current Sonic
This
team.
game is so weird.
This current
But yeah,
Sonic
you
team
say-
should not do 2D.
Yeah, the
They
2D
are-
sections aren't great.
It is notoriously like some of the worst parts of everything they've done in the past couple of games. Like I always hear some of the biggest complaints are the 2D sections of Frontiers, the 2D sections of Forces, Like the classic Sonic in Forces is like one of the worst parts of Forces. Like it just there's always been I know people who really don't like them in Colors, who really hate them in Lost World. That just like all of that constantly feels bad to do.
Lost World is also just not a good game.
It's not a Sonic
Yeah.
game. And it's not even
No.
a good Mario clone because it's a Sonic game
No.
trying to be a Mario game.
Yeah. And I
Silly.
think my biggest issue with Frontier, other than Frontier's open world being a big poo-poo stinker half the time, because its open world is just a way to get between different puzzles and
Yeah.
stages. The cyberspace stages, like 70 to 80% of them are good. The ones that are mainly 2D kind of suck, because again, this game's 2D just kind of...
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good. They don't have the momentum that's supposed to be built into the 2D systems. I get the Generations team back. I don't know what they did for Generations, but that game was good. That game's 2D was good.
It is.
It's the best Sonic game in the past
It's.
20 years.
I'm pretty sure it's the same team. I think I think they've been the
I don't
same
know,
team actually.
It just... I don't know how they managed to fuck it up.
Yeah.
The Generations 2D just feels good.
Generations just felt like a good
but-
game.
But
Crazy.
outside of all of these things, I think this game's biggest flaw is that it tries to have this like super cool combat system that just falls flat at every... It's like a cool spectacle system. It's like from what I understand, it's like God of War fights where it's just like really cool big attacks and like these
Mhm.
super cool like cutscenes with the QuickTime events, which I fucking hate QuickTime events. Get them out of video games. They're stupid. At this point, we don't need them. Let me play the game. Don't make me watch a cutscene and click buttons during
They
it.
want to make sure you're paying attention. Are you paying attention to your game? B.
And while I'm fighting a boss and I have butt metal and I have some banger ass music blasting, yes, I'm paying attention. And I need to press square.
Pretty cool. QuickTime events gave us the greatest thing to ever happen in all of video games, which is the opening of the video game Spider-Man 3.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Chris Redfield punching a boulder.
That one's also pretty good. I'm just thinking of the point where if you miss a QuickTime event in the opening scenes of
Yes.
Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man just flat on
Oh,
his
dear,
face.
help me! Oh no, it's falls into the fucking
Yeah.
fire.
I think
And
my
he falls
favorite
into the
thing about-
fire, and then the woman it zooms in on a really shittily rendered woman's face, and she goes, "I'm gonna die," and then everything explodes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's
But yet-
one of the best scenes
You
ever.
mentioned Spider-Man 3, and all I can think of is that video of him doing the thing where he's like,
But there's no
Yeah,
there's
music.
no music behind it,
Yes.
walking down the street.
It's so good.
Michael,
But yeah,
how
the
it?
final thing with Frontiers, the fact that there is a parry system, but they forgot to make it a timed parry system, makes the combat so fucking boring and easy
Yeah.
that it's actually it's insane. I've been playing on hard mode, and if you go into these boss fights with your max ring, which I have yet to upgrade, I have the minimum maximum, which is 400 rings max. I have never gone under 200 rings during a boss fight. When you drop to 0 is when you lose. The only time I lost a boss was when I tried doing Giganto, started with 87. Because I didn't know how the supersonic mechanic was going to work. So,
Yeah.
And it's whatever ring count you have going into going supersonic.
Mhm.
Which also means that most of the time when you're starting a boss fight where it's the boss is standing in front of you, you have to climb them to get the chaos emerald, you have to run in a fucking circle 20 times and make side loops so you can fill your rings.
Yeah. Do
There's
you?
so many... God, the lack of a parry pisses me off so much. I think this game's biggest issue, which is part of the reason I posted the Yako video, is that Spark 3 came out this year, and Spark 3 is just a better game in every fucking way.
Yeah, I know you really like.
guess it's
Spark
not as
Electric
pretty.
Jester.
But Spark 3 is just a better game. It's a better 3D platformer. It's a better action fighting game.
I mean, it's really good looking for the size of the team that makes it. Isn't it one guy?
Yes, Spark 3 is
Basically.
made by one guy.
Um,
I think he may have like outsourced a little bit of music to people or something, but yeah, it's made by
Yeah.
one person.
the general hope I saw a lot of people have with Frontiers is that they basically take the structure they used for the game and they make like an adventure 1 or 2 like where you have an actual real hub that you get to interact with and go into
Yeah.
different levels and like they expand on that element of how the world is set up and make it like an actual Sonic game set in like a real place in the world.
Yeah. But one other thing I've been doing. I'm I'm listening. Going back and listening to like some artists that I haven't listened to in a while. But I mean, specifically, I started listening to Linkin Park again.
Let's go.
And God, do some of these songs fucking hurt.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't listened to them in a long time.
Yeah.
And I never used to like really think about the lyrics. But hey, I went back. I was like, oh yeah, Thousand Suns is an album that like I've enjoyed bits and pieces of. I started listening to The Messenger, my fucking heart breaks.
Yes.
Messenger's such a good song. Because I've consistently still been listening to the song "One More Light" from One More Light. I think One More Light's the greatest song Linkin Park's ever made.
That song fucking hurts me, dude.
One More Light's so good. But God, this band is so good, and boy does it hurt when people are like, when people start like shitting on them, like randomly. I'm like, why? Why do you shit on Linkin Park? Their music has never been bad.
It's
There's
never
a-
been bad.
There's a part of the music world that
Okay,
doesn't.
I mean, I guess like Reanimated and Recharged, whatever, those weren't great.
There's a part of the music world that doesn't understand that artists can and should be able to experiment with sound, especially once you've gotten so comfortable in your genre. And like that's like the problem that Linkin Park and like One OK Rock like face is that like they do something really well in their genre, and then they say we want to try other things to figure out what we can incorporate from that into our original sound. And some people just don't have the time or patience to write it out with them, even if their songs sound different, they're still fucking incredible. If Michael, if you have never listened to it, give me a second. I have to find it. If you have never heard the live version of "Take What You Want" from One OK Rock, there is a version of that they do very, very like right around it's the Ambitions Japan Dome tour from 2018. That's right after they were supposed to tour with Linkin Park. That song hurts to hear Taka sing, because it's very clear that Linkin Park, being one of their big influences, is like on his mind while singing that song. It's incredible. It's also 9 minutes long.
I mean,
Because there's
even
like
better.
there's like a minute and a half, 2 minute section of silence in that song. And the crowd fucking goes with it, and it's so nice. Anything else, Michael?
I realized I could set up my webcam in a way where you could very easily see me if I'm using the DK bongos to play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. You could very easily see the bongos and the TV. The issue is that it's a webcam looking at a TV, so you can't fucking tell what's happening on it.
That's okay.
But like,
But we know.
bongos.
Of course.
I played a little bit Donkey
by the
Kong
way.
Jungle.
Now that I fixed it, I can show you guys actually what it is. It's a little shadow box that's not coming off the shelf this time. It has the 3 quotes from Bunny Girl Senpai on it that she wrote on there, and then it opens up, and then there's the 8 novels from the light novel, and then I put my plushie in there because it fits. But it's super cute, and she's awesome. So thanks, Amber.
If it fits, she sits.
Anyways, I also been playing board games.
Yo,
I forgot to mention that.
what's that on your other monitor? Is that Pokemon?
What? No, that's not. No, don't worry about that. That's her Pokemon.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not me.
Definitely.
I would never. But I'm playing board games. I picked up Pandemic for Christmas. I just bought Clank literally today. And I've been playing Wingspan, in my spare time, PC and like in person at a friend's house. Great. What's that? Have I done anything else? Did I do anything else? Movies, anything? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. But I fixed the box.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Anime
Uh,
time.
11 o'clock.
Don't remind me. It's anime time, and for the last time this season, power ranking.
Oh yeah, we did do power rankings. It was a thing we had to do.
Yo, this is crazy. I wonder what's going off this week.
Gee, I wonder if we had any like if anyone thought anything else was going off starting last week.
What I love about this power ranking, though, is that it's going to highlight that the finale is going to be an episode where
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
last episode of
Yeah.
all of these shows is going to matter immensely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's get into it. I get to talk lots and lots and lots. It's Witch from Mercury time. The gang is on their way to pick up Ariel, and Suletta is sad because she feels like a burden to everyone, and all of her friendships now feel fake.
Even
And
though she's literally been giga carrying this entire
And
show with
she
her
w-
like weird piloting.
and she wants Minori to recognize her senpai, please. And things keep going wrong. She keeps hearing Minori tell other people how important they are, and she accidentally winds up with no lunch because someone took an extra for someone who accidentally already took their own. So she got no lunch, so she drank water. Space water. We see that terrorism is happening. Prospera and Delling talk about some weird project they both have been working on, and she hands him a USB that she almost gets shot for handing him because they think she's gonna pull a gun on him in this completely normal and safe interaction that they are having.
He also knows who she is.
It
Which
also
is wild.
seems like he's kind of been working on the Gundams himself behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't fully been like, no, kill all the Gundams. He's kind of been like, we'll let one Gundam slide. We'll see how far they get with it.
Gundam. Like it's. We'll
What's
get to
the? I didn't get the exact name of it. It's like Project Zero something. They have a
don't
real
remember.
goofy name for it, and it makes you go, "I'm sorry, what did you just say?" And then we see Jeddark's the head Jeddark, who's like, "Hey man, you want to work with me?" And he goes, "No," and Delling goes, "No." And then he put the tracker on Delling's guards, and he goes, "Okay, guys, give me 2 hours, and you can initiate the plan." And fucking
And Shattuck
and
goes,
Shat-
"Go."
and
Shattuck
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 goes,
gonna murder him this time for sure.
Shattuck goes, "Got it," and then turns around and goes, "Initiate the plan, kill him, get rid of everybody, all my problems." And then they make it very clear that Shattuck knows that Minori and everyone's going to be there. But they'll be fine, he assures them. The only target's Delhi. I'm sure these mercenaries aren't just going to slaughter a bunch of Spacians for no good reason. That would be crazy. Gundams resulting in excess bloodshed? That's not. Even
Happened.
mobile suits?
Promote
Crazy.
Stereotypes? What? No.
We get Sophia, and her name starts with an N. I'm not
Noria.
Noria.
Yeah, Noria.
This Annie and Oakley from Pokemon The Heroes movie-esque duo, where one of them is real goofy and maybe sadistic, and the other one is real stern and focused. They're wild. Sophie spin kicks the shit out of Jeddark and holds a gun to his head Bob,
Who's
as
Jeddark?
Bob Guel Jeddark the third. Is just like, yo, I recognize those terms. Those are my family's models of Gundam. What the fuck's going on? Spin kicked. He's fine. Everything will be fine, I'm sure. We then have Suletta then talks to her mother, and her mom's like, "Okay, what's up? You don't just call me. Like, I know you're gonna be here. This was arranged. What's going on?" And Suletta's like, "I am sad and depressed, and I am failing." And her mom goes, "No." And then Minori's outside the door listening.
My mom goes, no.
And Suletta looks and goes, "Uh-oh," and tries to close the door on her. And Minori's having none of that shit. And then they play a nice game of tag in the space colony. This is a really cool scene where it just shows that Suletta is tomboy. She run good. She leap good. Minori needs more exercise. And then Minori fakes having an asthma attack to tackle Suletta, and at the same time as watching it, both Minori and I go, "Gotcha!" when she grabs her. And then they do a nice little float together into a glass panel, and Minori talks about how much Suletta's changed her for the better and how much she needs her, and that she has to promise to never lose a duel ever and stay her groom forever. Damn, they do BA. They really do.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And then the plan starts. And they jam the communication devices. They slice off a section of the space colony. And then a wall comes down and separates Minori from Suletta, and then Sophie finds Suletta, and we end there. Crazy. This is a really good episode. I really like this. I mean, we had said it. at the start of the show where like there is going to be a turning point where this stops being a school Gundam and it starts being a war and blood Gundam. We had thought like maybe it would happen around episode 9. This build-up's been great. It makes sense to end your first half with this kind of stuff. The transition into, okay, we're done screwing around. It's Gundam time.
Yeah.
No one feels safe.
I definitely think like yeah, we're getting 2 cores out of this, but this is definitely going to get us like a second 2 core season.
I think so. Or at least
It's gonna
another,
go
or
like
at
the
least
other
like another
Gundam.
25, at least up to like 70. I feel.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by the second
Right,
second
right,
2
right,
core,
because you would
it's-
need 25. Yeah,
yeah, it usually most recent Gundams have
Or
been
50.
Around 50, like 50, 54-ish. So
I could see this. Yeah, probably 50. I could see this maybe pushing the 70 count if they were doing something really ambitious or it started doing really well. I just don't know if they have enough. Because that's a long amount of time. Yeah, the only person who I feel is safe, crazy enough, is Delling. I don't think he's gonna die. I really don't think he's gonna
No, I
die
think the
here.
person that's safe is her mom.
I don't think so.
no,
She
I
handed-
think her mom's dying.
She handed off the important plot device to Delling.
Yeah,
which
I
is
think,
why I think
like,
he's
the-
fine.
Her mom has some death flags in this episode. I feel.
Don't worry, Ariel. I'm never going to let you go. Uh-oh.
Let go.
I can't wait for Happy Birthday Part 3. Why am I crying so much?
Fucking, we're gonna get to the next episode. Man, it's crazy. This terrorist attack happened the day before your birthday.
Did you know today's my mom's birthday? So let us says if we all scream into our mics at the same time.
So let us
Yo.
know as you cut to the other part of the ship where a mech is just like fucking shooting a giant laser beam directly where she's at.
Did you know 4 members of Earth House all share the same birthday and it's today? Whoa!
Well, that's
Oh
crazy.
god, oh fuck.
Mom looks like she's about to take the aerial out for a spin. Not gonna lie.
There are a couple of Earth House members who I do not feel are safe.
No.
Just because there are too many of you. And you're all here. Why are you all here? Jesus Christ, we've made a mistake.
Why is every single one of them here? They made it seem like it was just going to be like Miorine and Soletta going to this to
Yeah,
pick up Ariel, and then it was all of them.
because I feel there are a couple of characters who overlap each other in their dynamic. Like we have our 2 guys who bet and who are like different and who are at odds about supporting war being against war. Where one of them dying can fuel the other one to be a character. You already have set up a shy guy who doesn't really want to take any major control of a situation. His death can propel others deaths can propel him. You're really set up for Earth House to. I think the only person in Earth House who feels really safe are Choo Choo and Nika.
John, the guy that's shy reminds me of the fucker from Double O, whose girlfriend went fucking crazy, and also like in every we made fun of him in every opening because she threw his ass to the ground. You know who I'm talking about?
The one that was like the big bad in like the 2nd season.
Not the big bad, but he was the like his girlfriend became the. No, hold on. I'll
Get him a
find
picture.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
The main non Gundam team guy.
The main non-Gundam team guy that threw him down there. I gotta watch the opening.
Other kind of big thing that kind of just gets sit here. There's a funny line I want to address because I think it's really hilarious. But before that, Prospera mentions that Soletta during the duel, the last duel with Shattuck, got into what it was. It was the number was the 6th over where she was. I forget the term. I'm blanking on it right now. But like she really pushed the limits of her Gundam in that fight, which is important. Then we have the little bit of a conversation where the Jeddick dad is on the phone with Shattuck, and he goes to Shattuck, it's tough to be an adopted boy who's prying for daddy's love, and I'm just sitting there going, you are the one person who can't make a comment about his relationship with his father. You have no idea where your eldest son is, and you stripped him of all the things he loves.
Gotta find something. But yeah, Gundam's good this week. The reason why it's lower than Chainsaw Man for me is Chainsaw Man overall has just been super hype. But I get what you're saying. It wasn't Chavez, was it, Mason?
Bobby Crossroad.
Oh, I need.
You'll know when you see him.
But I like Gundam this week. I think it's a good setup. Like I said, it's gonna be a good stopping point after like this terrorist thing. I want to see more though from this show because it's not gonna come up in a little bit. God, yes, Mason, yes.
You know who
He
I'm
shoved
talking
his
about.
to the ground. That's right.
His girlfriend shoves his ass to the ground in every opening, and we made fun of him so much for it.
Oh,
It's great.
he looks like a
And she
serial
loses
killer.
her hand. Anyway,
This kid is the most bitch ass motherfucker on the planet.
he really is. Yeah, I like what Gundam's setting up so far. I thought this week was cute. I like the game of tag. I just every bit with those two when they're just like not flirting but definitely flirting is always wonderful. Like I said, it's very gay. It's very good.
I'm very happy this got resolved this episode because the scene with Minore and Nika where like it's very clear Minori knows she did say something wrong but she doesn't know what. Like as soon as we got that interaction, I was like, "Oh, you have to solve this now then because if she knows and she sits on this, she's a huge asshole." So I was really happy they started to work through this in this episode.
I also like the fact that like the bad guys like, here's what we're gonna do. You stay here and kill Delling. Where the fuck are you? And then just appears next to Minori or
Suletta.
Yeah, Suletta. And you're just like, oh, that's not gonna be good.
Don't we just love a team player who when they go, you fire my lead on the shot. No, you fire mine. Fuck you.
And I also love when she appears from Suletta and just goes, oh my god, I'm your biggest fan. I'm not psycho.
Yeah, no, I saw her as I was watching it, and I don't know if Mason was there when I said it, but I know Michael was, and I was like, Sophie is the type of character who looks like she's going to kidnap Suletta and tie her to a bed.
Going full misery.
She just got that energy. Michael, you really like Gundam this week.
Yeah, Gundam was just good this week. We had a lot of really good character moments. Little bits of action we got were good. Bob popped off. I really liked the tag scene into the talk between the two of them. God, boy, does this show make you just not want to trust Prospera at all.
Ever.
She's playing every
It's certainly a choice.
Let's play a game. We'll put every Gundam character on a wheel and every Gundam character in this show on a wheel and spin it, and we'll see who it can land on that we trust. The answer is only Suletta.
Suletta.
Yeah, the answer is Suletta and Miorine 50% of the time.
Probably Choo-Choo as well. Just
Choo-Choo, we know what she's about.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
we
if
trust
this
Choo-Choo
was like
'cause
4 episodes ago, I would also say Nika.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
I can't say that.
I can't. Yeah, you can't say that.
Just remember, whatever happens here is entirely her fault.
True.
She has some level of blame to have up for this. That'll be interesting to see unfold.
I mean,
Hey,
he's
guys.
literally a terrorist, so yeah, that would do it.
I have another show. It's back
You
to
do?
back, baby. Let's talk about Sword. This week we pick back up right where we left off, which is Fran has been separated and disarmed and is in front of a trickster spider.
She's been disarmed before.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, true.
last time she was disarmed with her sword. This time she was disarmed in that she no longer has teacher. Everybody panics and tries to find them and splits up. Then they decide to split the party in a way that I guess works. I don't know. I'll take the word for it. And the important thing is they send Amanda on her own, which means the teacher can start to interact a little bit with her and try to pull some shenanigans. In the meantime, Fran is getting her shit kicked in by traps and the spider. The other guys are also getting their shit kicked in, and they're all affected by lethal poison. This is one of those sports moments where it's like we have 10 seconds left on the clock, and you spend the next 3 minutes of the scene going through it because you have lethal poison, and these characters are doing pretty good for that. It makes a note that Fran doesn't have a lot of her ability, so she kind of just runs around and punches to the best of her ability. But she still has like some muscle memory from her time with Teacher. Teacher then asks System Lady, "Hey, what can I do?" Like, well, first he goes, "Okay, parallel thought. I have so many options. I need a second brain to help me realize what's the best
First
play."
these skills.
Oh, hey, remember that thing that we know has been important? The summon ally, the summon.
Kin
Summon Kin. There we go. Kin summon. He's like, "What do I get if I summon Kin?" And AI goes, "Wolf." And I go, "Oh no, I've seen this before." And then it picks the wolf that every isekai needs, which is the Shadow Wolf. It's not actually a Shadow Wolf right away. It's like an Earth Wolf. What did I don't remember what they.
It was an Onyx Wolf.
Yeah, an Onyx Wolf, and then it becomes like Dire Shadow Wolf. This is a good boy, but this one doesn't talk, so he can't be my favorite of these. We learned that Whoop's teacher overloaded him with too much magic, and that naming things will cause them to evolve and get stronger, depending in certain situations. It generally just makes things stronger if they have a name. And we got an interesting point where teacher's like, "I wonder if that's why they took away Fran's name when they enslaved her," which is a really interesting point. That is like a neat thing to consider in the back of your mind while you watch this show. It also makes me wonder if characters getting titles like Amanda does, like, is innately them getting stronger as well. And then teacher uses our Wolfie boy. What does he name him?
Urushi.
Okay.
Urushi.
And they wind up fighting the path to Fran. And teacher eventually has to drop the shtick of being just a floating voice who's talking to Amanda and the dog. And Amanda kind of tunes in, "Oh, you're the sword, aren't you?" Which, after teacher obliterates a wall and barely saves Fran by injuring the trickster spider, really surprised this lives this. They wind up spilling the beans to Amanda, and they go, "Oh shit, we gotta heal the other two guys. They're on like 1 HP. Fuck." Again, sports countdown clock. They're fine. Then they're also like, "We have no idea what you said. We've kind of blacked out for the past couple of minutes. We just know that Fran helped us." And Amanda's like, "Good. Now I don't have to kill you for knowing her secret." And I go, "Amanda, why'd you say that? Now they know there's a secret." And then they go to try to find the rest of the group. And whoops, bad things are about to happen. They located Spider Mommy elsewhere. Also, someone had to have helped this spider evolve into a trickster spider. We are closing out on this show with the last episode. Sword is good. I like Sword. I really enjoy it as an isekai fantasy. We say it all the time. I would love to play this game. Its setting and its systems are really cool. I adore Fran and Teacher. I think Amanda's been fine. I really like the general supporting cast of this show of just people who are around in association with the guild or adventuring parties. I think they're all neat and interesting side characters. It is a shame that this show does not look prettier. And I don't think it looks bad for what it is. I think it has a style, it sticks to it, it's nice. It is nowhere at the technical level of our other 3 shows. And I don't think it hits emotional beats as strongly as our other 3 shows. And it is probably the least of these 3 shows I want to watch the next episode. I am dying to watch the next episode of.
Saying something because man, the show's actually good, and I do want to watch the next episode of it.
Yeah, no, the show's really good.
It's good. It's good,
just
but
not-
I'm not
like it's Chainsaw Man. I'm not like, oh god, yeah, it's Reincarnated
Chainsaw
on
Man
Thursday. It's Chainsaw Man Tuesday.
I will say,
Rock Sunday, baby.
I really appreciate that Fran doesn't win this fight or come out of it. Like, I appreciate that Fran doesn't back down, that she gets her shit kind of kicked in, and that, you know, she makes decisions on her own to stand her ground and save the other 2, but that Teacher winds up, you know, doing the heavy lifting at the end, because it wouldn't make sense for her to win this very clearly. I'm glad the show has some understanding of what its main character needs to do. I am interested to see the point probably in season 2 where we start to get to the point where even Teacher can't do some things. That would be where I really like to see this show go, is like, where is your ceiling that you can't overcome? Because even with the fight with Amanda, Fran was doing that without Teacher's full-on, like, an aid and assist. Like, she was using him, but he wasn't acting on his own along with her.
But we see how important those skills are, though, to her
Yeah.
being able to do stuff like that.
I think I think this show is really interesting. I'm really excited to keep following this. I know Michael might feel the same way. This is probably the only point in this show where I went, oh dear God, this is a lot of stuff for Reincarnated as a slime. Shadow Wolf naming creatures. There is a lot in this particular episode that's like, I know how this works. I've watched Reincarnated as a slime.
I did make a comment. I was like, damn, every good show needs a dog.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that was in my brain from that was the wolf from
Ragna.
Slime. It was our homie.
Yeah, Ragna.
But yeah, it was very funny.
It's if I had a dollar for every Shadow Wolf I've seen in an isekai anime, I'd have like $4, and that's not a lot, but it's interesting that they've all showed up recently. I don't even know if
$4
I don't even know. I doubt Slime's the originator of that either.
Probably
but,
not.
Like,
There's probably going to be a Shadow Wolf at some point
Jobless,
during
yeah.
Jobless.
That's where and even then, there's probably something that's older than Jobless that did it. Probably in like a Lodos thing, they have a Shadow Wolf. I'm sure. Wouldn't be surprised.
Gonna be dot hack.
Right? You just see, and I mean, there's
fucking
just there are things you just know.
I hate it.
There are things you just know. Any other thoughts about Sword?
I really enjoyed Sword. It's been fun. Like I said, this was a game that I could play.
Same.
I
would
think
play the
it's
fuck
real.
out of this game.
I also made this comment to Mason earlier. I think it's really funny that they just decided to front load all of Amanda's shitty qualities into like the first 10 minutes upon meeting her, and then just went, okay, hold on a moment. Maybe let's not make that be the
Wait,
only
she's
thing
actually
you
just
see
a
from
great
her.
person because she takes care of orphans for a living, and that's why she has the title the Orphan Taker. Like,
Amanda, the mother.
God, what a... Imagine if that was her title, the
the
Orphan
Orphan
Taker.
Maker, because she just like runs an orphanage.
I too like Critical Role.
But like she has an evil quality to it where she like purposely kills parents to make Batmans.
Oh my God.
Calm down there.
Orphan Maker.
Calm down there, Skyrim. I understand, but we need to chill out. Ooh, that child is adoptable. Time to kill some parents. Surely the child will not remember my face.
One.
Surely I'll not draw the child's ire.
Oh.
Yeah, there are a lot of things. And here's the thing. I've talked to a couple of friends who know we do the podcast, and some of them are very upset that this isn't going to be top 3, because I've made it pretty clear that I didn't think this was going to break it. Especially knowing that 3 of us have read Chainsaw Man and that it's still on this podcast. My argument is, I think in this particular case,
Something good.
I think it's ridiculous not to have Chainsaw Man on this podcast.
Yeah.
It is like,
I'm sorry,
it's
but
the
like,
big thing. And I get that there are some people who don't like Chainsaw Man. We'll talk about how they're wrong in a minute.
yeah,
No, we don't need to talk about it. We can just state the fact that they are wrong.
they're wrong.
It's just a fact.
We're going into this, so we'll seg. Before I let Mason talk about the episode, I want to say this. People who think that this is Mappa's worst show are off their fucking rockers. And people who think that this show doesn't look good, I don't know what they see. I don't...
They saw the one clip of Denji in the first episode when he broke out of the zombie pile. They saw 10 seconds of that clip and went, ew, CG. And then went, it's the worst looking show.
And then proceeded to not see all of the really fucking good CG
But
from the
there
rest.
Then didn't watch anything else from it.
There are
Haven't
people...
watched anything else from Mappa.
There are
Because
people
Mappa's
I
known
know...
for doing CG.
Yeah.
There are people I know who have continued to watch this show though, and they go, "I think this is the most like hyped up thing that I've thought is mid, and I still don't like how it looks." And I'm like, I can't connect with you on a level. There's also an element where they're like,
Is there like a specific person who was saying that they don't like the way it looks?
There are a couple of people.
Is there a single specific person whose username starts with an A?
They're one of them, yes. But there are other people in my friend group who have told me this. On top of that, I've also heard they don't know and they don't like that they can't gravitate onto a character in this show. That's the point. There is not every show needs you to get parasocial with its characters, and just because you don't like the couple of characters you can kind of gravitate to for a period of time, I don't know what to tell you.
Here's the thing:
you also have to realize
powers.
So I watched a video of someone talking about this show recently. It was Super Eye Patch Wolf with the video of Chainsaw Man is a goddamn masterpiece.
Oh my god, Chainsaw Man got mainstream. I can't believe it.
No, Super Eye Patch Wolf talked about it. Means I have to hate it now.
I love Super Eye Patch Wolf. God damn it.
The internet's
like a quote
silly.
from the internet.
Yes.
Oh, fair.
It was like straight up.
Yeah, there was
Super Eye Patch Wolf made a video. It means I have to hate the show now.
There was also people who like Super Eye Patch Wolf talked about it. That means it's now hit mainstream. It's like, bro, Chainsaw Man's been one of the most popular shonen mangas since it started airing. It would be different if it was Fire Punch. Like, that's another like, if Fire Punch started to get this treatment before Chainsaw Man was around, that would be crazy. Like, that would be it getting mainstream. Also, fuck the concept of mainstream, but Chainsaw Man. So the thing that I was gonna say was, he said something about it that I really like, because it's kind of the best way to describe this show. Is it's watching three people who are fucking idiots and who are some of the most inhuman motherfuckers on the planet become human. Like, get humanized.
They try their hardest to be humans.
Yes. And it's wonderful, because that's exactly how the show works, in that you start off the show and you're not gonna like pretty much any character that's there, because they're all horrible fucking people.
Or you relate too hard to Denji, and then it pisses you off because you relate way too much to this character that's put in such a shitty position.
Yes.
And it's very much supposed to be in like he is not like an intelligent person. He is a fucking moron. You're like, but he's just like me for real though. So you can't do this to me.
I really did not like Aki on introduction. Yeah. This is coming from the person whose current profile picture is Aki again,
and whose profile picture has been Aki for before, like the last 3 of them.
Yeah, well, Fran was there for a bit.
Oh yeah, you did have a.
But I mean, I adore Aki as a character. He is my favorite Chainsaw Man character, with Denji probably up there as a close second. And I'm excited to see more.
I'm very excited for seeing the changes that Aki goes through, because it's wonderful.
See, I just love Beam, because Beam is my favorite little goofball, and I love him.
What a wonderful segue! Let's talk about this episode of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
So about fucking speed running the manga this episode.
Yeah, they did.
I am interested to talk with you guys off podcast at some point about what gets condensed here, because for what it's worth, as someone who doesn't remember this part of the manga, I think this flows nicely.
No, this doesn't like feel condensed, but this is, I think, 6 chapters.
Yeah.
I got you guys. I haven't read the manga. It feels like a normal episode of anime, but like when you guys say it feels condensed, I'm like, I can see how it does, because they could take 1 chapter per character that they just introduced in this episode, and they just introduced 7 characters. All right, this is this guy, this is what he does.
I'm pretty sure this is how they introduce them regularly. I don't think that's the part.
It introduces them all in the same chapter. There are 5 chapters of stuff that happened before the introduction.
Yeah, in between Future Devil and this, there's a ton of shit.
It doesn't feel like that much happened.
No.
And it feels perfectly done.
Yeah.
Again, I don't remember any of the stuff that happens there, so...
The reason I know this is because I checked recently.
So, to get into what happened, because we've been kind of skirting.
No, we've just been talking generally about Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. So we started this episode off right where we left off, where Aki is walking into the room that has the Future Devil. And the Future Devil is a fucking wacky dude. We love him. He's just great. He's just a fucking idiot.
Dude.
And we get the caveat of, hey, Aki, you're going to contract with this devil. Only 2 people have ever contracted with him in the Public Safety Commission. One of them gave up half their fucking life. The other one gave up both their eyes, their sense of taste, and their sense of smell.
You already have no life. Good luck.
You already have 2 years left to live. Hope he likes ya.
What
Get
did
in
Aki
there,
give up,
champ.
Nathan?
Get in there, champ. So he walks in, and the future devil's just being a quirky little dude.
Love this
And
interaction.
Aki's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me so we can get this contract over with and I can move on with my life? And the future devil's like, all right, man, shove your head into my gut and I'll see what your future is. So he does. And he's just like, he's dancing. He's all like, all right, you can get out now. All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to live in your right eye.
That's it.
That's it. You want to know why that's it?
Aki goes, no. And then he tells him anyway.
And he tells them anyways. And he goes, I've seen what your death is like. And it's, to quote the show, your death is the fucking worst. If you want to know how you go, and Aki cuts him off there. He's like, no, man, I don't care. I just want to move on. I want to get what I want done, and I will be fine. I'm fine if I die then. It doesn't matter. I just want to do the shit I want to do. So now Aki has the future devil. And then we cut to Denji in power training with Kisame, or Kishibe, excuse me. Not Kisame, that's the fucking Naruto character.
From Kisame from Naruto.
Not Naruto, it's JoJo's. Come on. Get it together, me.
Kisame is from Naruto.
So, they're training, and then Kishibe goes, all right, cool. So you guys have actually gotten quite a bit better. You still can't beat me, but like you've gotten a lot better. We're gonna go down to once a week training now. Also, we're testing you tomorrow. We're going after Katana Man and the Snake Devil Girl, and let's just say if we fuck this up, you guys are dying, and I will kill you for real. So then we move on to the next day.
Hold
but
on.
Before that, excuse me.
Denji's incredibly based before that.
Denji's also incredibly based because he goes, I mean, if that happens, old man, I'll let you live because you've been a cool dude and you've made me better. And then Kishibe goes and talks with Makima, and he's like, God damn it, I'm starting to like him. I don't like this. What the fuck? Maybe it's just me getting old, but like I actually like these 2 dipshits.
I'm not supposed to like
Oh,
toys.
devil.
I'm supposed to break toys.
I'm supposed to break toys. Why do I like these 2? And then he says some cryptic shit to Makima where he's like, so that attack on the special division, you knew it was going to happen, right? And you did nothing about it, right? And she goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he goes,
There's no warrant bossing say.
and he goes, all right, so I'm fine with you doing these things as long as it's in mankind's best interest. But as soon as that stops happening, we're going to have problems.
And then she
And then we
goes,
just- Oh, God. Yeah. and then
she
goes,
smile.
We cut to the start of the raid, where we meet 4 new characters. We meet Beam, who is the Shark Devil Fiend, and we love him. He's an idiot. He's the best. We also meet the Violence Devil, who
Is based.
he's based. It's so weird because Michael and I had this conversation when we were watching it earlier, where neither of us remember him being this much of a fucking homie,
Yo,
but he is.
I love the Violence Devil. He absolutely is.
like reading through it, he absolutely was the whole time. It's just I didn't remember.
I don't
this
remember him
very well.
being like that. I
Alex,
just remember him being really quiet.
Alex brought something to my attention about the Violence Devil that I'll have to talk to you two about later.
Okay. And then we also meet the Spider Devil.
God, I fucking hate her.
God, she's creepy as fuck.
Thanks for that.
She looks like a human most of the time, but then she becomes all spidery. She kills things. And then the last one we meet is the Angel Devil.
Fucking love
Angel's
Angel.
great.
Angel's
I
fun.
love Angel. Angel's so a tragic fucking character.
Hi,
'Cause Angel's go ahead.
I was gonna say hi. Aki handed Angel a handkerchief. The entire internet exploded.
Yes. The thing about the Angel Devil, if you haven't been watching this, is you cannot touch Angel because they will take years off of your life, and if you have extended contact with them, you die. Aki just casually hands them a handkerchief and goes, "Yeah, here you go." And they're like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, I could have killed you." And he's like, I don't give a shit.
Well, maybe the first time won't be the last.
But you're
And
fucking
moves
insane.
on.
Yeah.
Bad.
While this is happening, Makima is talking to some Yakuzas. And he's like, "Hey guys, so I need you to write down the names of all the people that are in your family, in your Yakuza family, that were part of killing my division. I need you to do this now. I also need you to write down the names of all the other families that you know of, and the names of those people that have access to guns." And they go, "Why the fuck would we do that? That would start a war, and that would cause the Russian and Chinese mafias to come in and like start fucking with us." And she goes, "Here's a gift to you. It's a bag. Do you want to know what's inside? Eyes. Eyes of all of your loved ones. They can be put back by someone who's also in the Public Safety Commission if you do what I asked." And so she gets the names, because of course she does, it's Makima. And then we cut to Denji and Power have gone off. Like, Denji, Power, and Aki have split off to try and get to Katana Man and the Snake Devil. Aki runs into the Snake Devil and starts fighting her. The Snake Devil pulls out the Ghost Devil that Himeno had,
Which is cheating.
yeah. And Aki starts fighting it, and we find out what Future Devil actually can do, which is you can see a decent amount into the future. Aki can see about like 5 seconds into the future. That doesn't mean jack shit when you don't know how to use it. So Aki starts getting the shit beat out of him.
This scene's cool
And,
as fuck, though.
Yeah, the song is great. And then the Ghost Devil starts choking his ass out, and
That's where we end.
that's where we end.
Cool ED. The ZD rocks.
this-
The ZD's
Yeah.
actually
So this
really
actually
incredible.
isn't as many chapters as I thought it was. It's about 3.5.
Okay.
The issue is that it takes bits and pieces from 5 separate chapters, so it just feels like more.
Mhm.
Because this is chapter 31, and then gets halfway through. It's the final page of 31, then gets halfway through chapter 35.
I absolutely adore the scene where Aki hands Angel the handkerchief, because in the background, Violence and Beam are just murdering everything, and you
It's
just
wonderful.
you see Violence just go bam, and Beam's just hopping from person to person. It's wonderful.
Violence is also such a great character because he's essentially just Jax from League of Legends,
Yeah,
where they
Right.
basically just go, "This man is quite literally too strong for us to not
We
give
have
him
to
a
nerf him."
handicap." So they gave him a mask that constantly emits poison gas into his face, just so he is half of the strength that he is, and he's still murdering everything.
there's a really great scene I want to talk about, and there's something that I think is really important. Kishibe tells all the other like just random guards to be like, "Hey, if any of my fiends come out, kill them. Like, you don't need to worry about any of the other shit in there. Like, that's our job. Like, we'll deal with that. But if any of my people try to get out of here, this is what they are. This is what they look like. Kill
This is
them.
what they do.
Good
Yes.
luck."
I love that bit because it's such a good showing of like,
No matter
here's how Kishibe functions, and
Mhm.
here's how all of these other devils stand on the totem pole.
Yeah, and no matter how close he might get to them, he is still aligned with humanity over them. He believes that
He
if
also
they leave
understands-
here, they need to be killed.
Yes.
It's also that he trusts all of them to be strong enough that the people that are in there that they're trying to deal with will lose. Special Division 4 will get their fucking job done.
Yeah.
It's whether they go and do something else after the fact that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool thing, because he knows exactly how fucking strong some of these people are, especially
Yeah.
trained Power and Denji.
It really is. Please don't let them leave this area. I don't want to have to clean up 3/5 of Tokyo.
Right.
Another
You don't
s-
want another Shibuya incident, guys.
a thing I really love, that I think it's such a small scene, but I really fucking like it, is the car ride Aki gets with the two Kyoto agents.
Yes.
I adore that conversation they have, and just how it's carried out so well. Of just Aki sitting in the back of the car, not giving a fuck, walks out, and then the guy turns around and is like, "Hey, you're batshit insane. You know what? Good on you. I'm rooting for you."
Like I don't let like you
I
pissed me
can't kill
off.
I
but
can't kill the gun devil. I'm not batshit insane. You know what? Maybe you can.
I something I noticed in that scene as well that like I had noticed before, but it was like a like unconscious thought, and it became conscious when that scene happened. Was they did such a good job. They've done such a good job with this show in making it feel like a Western film,
Yeah.
which is exactly what Fujimoto fuck loves, which is why the opening is literally half of it is just fucking Western film references.
Uh-huh.
That it's very nice to see because it just feels very like, yeah, this is just a movie, and it's great.
It's also nice because it means we get different kinds of shots that you normally wouldn't get in anime. So it's refreshing. You have, and maybe that's why it's jarring for some people, is that it's not the way they are used to experiencing this. I wanted to say this. There are like I really think if you're someone who has a problem with Chainsaw Man, you should and really try to take in Dorohedoro, the anime, because that is nowhere near the quality of visual as Chainsaw Man is. And I think it is still some of Mappa's really great work with CG. And I think once you go through Dorohedoro, this is a masterpiece to look at. Not to say that Dorohedoro looks bad by any means, but that you will appreciate how far Mappa's come in 2-3 years since Dorohedoro.
Something like that.
Maybe 4.
It was 2019.
Yeah. Also, you will realize that there are some. I love Chainsaw Man. There are moments in this show and manga where you go, that's very similar to a thing in Dorohedoro. That's very similar to a thing in JJK. The JJK thing happens a lot, where I'm like, it's so crazy that the two of you have some of the things so close to each other. Like, the way
that's a JJK fight.
Yeah, the way contracts work, some of the characters, they just feel like JJK characters, or like the systems feel very similar. Like I love it. The Makima scene this episode with the Yakuza, I think is the Makima scene. I think you hit this scene and you start to understand things if you haven't yet.
Yes.
Because, oh boy, is this scene fucking something. I think this was the point in the manga where I went, oh, really big no. Oh, super big no. Because you don't often get a character who walks up to the Japanese Yakuza and go, hi, you're bullshit and you're gonna help me. And we know it works, because people start dying.
Because we still don't know how the fuck Makima's power works.
Correct.
All
John?
we know is people start collapsing in front of her, and she hasn't done a damn thing this time, so, the fuck?
John, thoughts?
What the fuck's Chainsaw Man, guys? I don't know. Chainsaw Man's really good.
Oh, you just wait. That's gonna be a question. You're gonna have a lot.
Oh god.
The question is whether you're going to start reading it after this, or if you're going to wait for the rest of the anime to finish.
I'm
I can't wait for John to get context for Kobeni DDR.
For Dance Bitch Dance,
only
yeah.
Yeah, Dance Bitch Dance.
Context for that.
I can't wait for
I'm
him
so
to get to.
excited.
He also needs to get the context of me going, oh my god, guys, what the fuck was chapter 70?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
I can't wait for him to get my favorite manga panel of all time.
Oh, send it to me.
Oh, I will.
Just send it to me. I'll get.
Yeah.
But no, Chainsaw Man's good. I think it's a really good show so far. I've been enjoying it on the podcast. I want to see more. That's what it comes down to. I mean, the show's really good. I'm curious what the fuck happened with the Ghost Devil. Did she make a deal with it? Does Snaky Ghost Devil mean Snake now, or Ghost Devil not mine? I don't know.
I think it's just that
When does Aki start beating his shit up?
I think it's just that the snake ate it, and then there's like a power differential there, right? Like you got so owned that you are now like you're now going to listen.
Bitch. It's like, yes, Mr. Snake Devil. I apologize, Mr. Snake Devil. That was my mistake for assuming.
Yes.
Do anything.
No, I've sent this one to John before. I
Yeah.
sent this to John when I was reading Chainsaw Man the first time.
I mean, I
I'm
sent it
seeing
when
it.
I got to it in Chainsaw Man with a spoiler tag because it's such a good image.
It's a wonderful image. I love that image so much.
But yeah, Chainsaw Man, good. I don't have any fault with it. Like, I have one show that is mine, and I also prefer it better because I really like the show.
I'm so excited to talk about this, John, because you and I are on the same wavelength this week about this show.
The show's so fucking funny,
and
dude. I don't know.
It's that, but I'm gonna talk about something that happened at the end of this episode of this show. Are we good, Michael? Do you have other thoughts on Chainsaw Man?
I just want to say one thing, and it's to all the people who are like Chainsaw Man's Mappa's worst looking show and whatever. And then we'll say that Attack on Titan final season is a good show. The Titans in the Mappa version actually are fucking disgusting. I think they look terrible. Like the CG Titans just don't mesh with anything.
I'm sorry, Michael. Attack on Titan's really hard for me to like pierce. Which final season is it?
All of the final seasons. Final season 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
3.5, and final DMix.
What about
358 over 2 days?
Yeah, that one.
I can't wait for the finale, the final part 5 to kick in, and then at the end
The
of
final season, final part.
at the end of the third episode of it, they pop at the start of the first episode they do the final part 4.5, and at the end of the third episode you finally roll into part 5.
No, we get point
KH3
8.
treatment.
Yeah,
the
KH3
treatment where you get the title
2.8.
card and it doesn't officially start until.
No, yeah,
did
that part was great though. The 2.9 version started KH3, one of the
That's
best.
based.
That was
It's
great.
such a good decision.
Namura, I just want to talk, man. Just a small conversation. It's real quick. It'll be real quick. I promise.
I still love the like 60-page thesis on how KH3 is just a dream and it actually just stops at 2.8 starting, like ending.
It's so good.
That document's wonderful. I spent like an afternoon reading it at work one day.
Mason, I'm glad Blue exists in our life. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I do too. I haven't talked to Blue in a minute.
Hey John,
Blue, if you're
okay.
I love you.
it's time.
Bocchi the Rock. The show rocks. So it's school festival time, guys. Yeah, school festival. So we got Ichika and Ryo walking around this festival looking for their dudes. They're like, maid cafe. Let's go see how they look in their maid outfits. And they get there, and Kita-chan's just hanging out because she's not from the same class. But they're like, we got to see Bocchi in her maid outfit. And they get there and they went, where's Bocchi? And they go, where's Bocchi?
She went to the
And so they
bathroom
go
and then
hunting.
poof.
And then they have like another little thing. I watched a video on this, by the way. I'll mention this at the end. But there's a really good video on why Bocchi the Rock is like one of the best comedies out there. And some really interesting stuff about it.
It just
But we end up
is.
finding Bocchi just outside of a door near some trash cans. And they go, you're right. Look where the place for slugs are most likely to be. We found her. She starts reading her comments on YouTube. She's like, everyone still support. Is Guitar Hero dead? ? Does Guitar Hero is dead? And she's like, no, I'm not dead, please.
I must video.
And then they end up finding her. They end up bringing her back to the maid cafe. And it's like, okay, Bocchi has to be a maid. So she just kind of stands outside with a sign and is like dead. Well, first they walk around the place and they go through like a horror show. Then they get some food. And it's like, okay, Bocchi actually has to work. So they all sit down, and Bocchi's standing at the door of the sign that's just like dying because she's like, social interaction. I cannot function.
And then two
and then we get our
Bocchi characters walk up.
And then we get our two Bocchi characters with like demon and like villain on their foreheads, like tattooed on, with like biker gang outfits, and they come and scream in her face like, hey, you doing anything after this, girl? And she's just like, I am dead inside and cannot comprehend this speech, please. Just does not respond and just intimidates them into kowtowing to her. Because the little guitar just comes out of her mouth and just spooks the shit out of them. And then their friends just go, Bocchi, we're ready to order. And then they go through the menu and she's like, what's this? She's like, it's ama rice. What's this? It's just ama rice. What's this? It's also just ama rice.
Are you
We all
telling
have this
me?
conversation like, listen, Real's like, listen, I have an idea how we can monetize you. We just put you in skimpy outfits, just like this maid outfit, have you play guitar, and then our views will skyrocket. And then you could just go stop making a cash cow out of our guitars, please. Thank you.
I'm sorry for not putting Big Booba Bocchi as the screenshot this week. We'll just have to find it in every other piece of media about this episode.
And then we find so she brings up this almond rice, and then they point to the menu and go, "Excuse me, Bocchi, I'd like this deliciousness smell if you would please. It is no charge. Please do the deliciousness spell." And she does this like really deflated deliciousness spell, and just the sludge just falls on there. I just go, "This is painful to eat." And Kita just goes, "No, no, no, you got to do it like this," and doesn't like the classic maid one. And they're just like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life."
The full
And
Batgirl girl transformation.
culture.
Then Nijika becomes maid as well.
Yeah,
everyone become
Nishika and Rio decide to become maids and butlers to help out with the cafe, and so Rio's just sitting there helping, and the
Help.
dudes are back, and they're like, "Can we get some water here?" And she just sits there in the chair and says, "Coming." And then they're like, "Yes, of course, ma'am." And they sit up there, and one of them's like, "Please give me water," and she pours it. And someone goes, "Please give me water," and she just sits there, and he goes, "Of course, thank you," and then goes back to his seat. And then they get ready for the thing. Rio's thinking about that money still, but it's okay. And then we have some dangerous foreshadowing where she's like, "Man, you have a really old guitar. Man, it looks like it's been well used, and nothing bad could happen to it."
I actually really hope it doesn't go through with that. Like
It's
during this, I would like it as a like down the line a Bocchi. I think it works as a Bocchi needs to get a new guitar once she hits the level where she's confident enough that it needs to be hers. I like the sentimental idea that she has this guitar from her father, and this is getting her started. I would really, really hate it if it breaks during this concert, or if it starts to fuck up during this concert. I think that would really suck.
But I think like it's also something that's just like it's so obvious that it's gonna happen. You know.
I think if this wasn't the second to last episode, yes, I can't see that. I don't know. I don't see that happening in this concert in the last episode.
Yeah,
But
the
that
only
might
thing
just
they
be
get
me.
out of that is they get like this moment where Kita gives Bocchi her guitar, even though Kita had been practicing this whole time and wants to like look cool in front of everyone. But like even then, that seems a little like, eh.
I'm interested to see if they. I hadn't really thought about it, because I liked
Or
it as a sentimental moment.
I just think it'd be funny if where we eventually get it to break and she gets a new one, and that's how Kita and Rio realize she's Guitar Hero. They go, "Oh, wait a second,
Guitar
That's
Hero's guitar
weird.
changed.
How it changed the exact one Bocchi has. That's kind of weird." Wait a minute.
I still like the idea that Rio's always known.
Oh
and
yeah,
just doesn't care.
Rio's
I
known
think
the whole
that's-
time and just isn't talking about it because she thinks it's that obvious.
Yeah.
And Kita's never going to get it until something super obvious like that happens.
Until someone goes, "You know she's a Guitar Hero, right?" And then she just goes, "What?
Wait, what?
Oh.
But yeah, so guitar.
So good. Guitar happened."
I think the most important part of this episode is their their before stage walk on the stage. The Bocchi's heart beating literally out of her chest. Is that
God,
Why is
What
that
do you
drummer
mean?
so loud?
what do you mean? We had shitty blender. It was wonderful.
Blender
That was the
simulating
gag.
Bocchi getting yeeted.
The gag that I saw all on Twitter like for the past 2 weeks, and
So
last week
good.
I was like, I have a gag that I'm so ready to see in action.
Yeah. No, but the build up to the end of this episode into Bocchi looking across the crowd, seeing all of Kita's friends, looking across the crowd, seeing her family, seeing her two fans, seeing her classmates, and then them getting ready to kick it into the song, to the cut to the ED. I cannot express how difficult it was to not
To not click
immediately
next
watch
episode.
the next episode of this show. This episode fucking did it right into the ED. That's why it's number one on my list this week, is because while
It's
I
even harder
think
when you have someone in your ear saying, "Hey, John, let's watch it. Can we watch the next episode, please? John, can we watch that? Can we watch that?" And I'm like, "No, I have to podcast like tomorrow."
I think that I think that maybe the beginning of this episode is a little weak. I like what we get out of it. I actually think it's really nice to have the moments between them. I like this better than with the whole beach set of stuff that we had before. And while I think maybe as a whole episode, it's not as good as Gundam or Chainsaw Man, I think the way it hits its end and the gags that really do work this episode, I think this week I adored Bocchi, and I cannot wait for this final episode. I am definitely at the point where how all of these shows end are going to definitely influence what the shakeout is for the end of this season.
I feel like the biggest one that can surprise us is honestly weirdly enough, like for me, it's Chainsaw Man because I haven't read what's gonna happen, right? So it's like it could just do some fucking balls off the wall, batshit crazy shit. But if Bocchi's just still Bocchi, like it's still probably gonna be a number one because like overall the show has just been like the same like peak level comedy. It feels like almost like 12, like at least like 10 out of the 12 episodes has been like peak comedy anime. To me,
For me, Gundam and Bocchi are the ones that really feel. I have a pretty clear idea what's going to be in Chainsaw Man, obviously. So it depends on what lows or highs those two shows hit or avoid into these final episodes for me. Because I genuinely, as much as I think Chainsaw is a masterpiece in how it is presented,
is a masterpiece.
I think there are moments so far in Bocchi and Gundam that enable them both to potentially combat what Chainsaw Man is for me on this podcast this season. I love all three of these shows though. I'm super excited. I'm also gonna catch back up on Blue Lock and Eminence and finish Sword.
Blue Lock went crazy for
That's what I hear.
third and second to last episodes. It's weird to me that there's another episode after where it ends in the second to last episode, but
It's
I'm
actually a
ready to see
recap,
it.
don't worry.
God, I hope.
Swear to
not.
God.
Mason Michael Bocchi.
Yeah, I mean, Bocchi was good this week. I have it lower than Gundam and Chainsaw Man just because I think while it was funny this week, Chainsaw Man just did a lot of good this week, and Gundam made me almost cry. So, yeah,
Gundam good.
Gundam good.
This episode was great. The real thing was that all these top three shows were very good this week. So it was certainly just I guess I'll put them on the power ranking in some order.
Yeah. Like, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, this week, I'll do something different and not put Chainsaw Man in the number one spot. Just to mess with Sean's power rankings just a little bit.
I won't put Bocchi this week. I'll let Gundam take the spot. Gundam kind of went off.
I will say, an element of Bocchi that's really popped up in the last 2 or 3 episodes that I think is absolutely what the show and this character needed is Kita's admiration to Bocchi. I think this is by far one of the best things the show could have done for Kita's character, is to have her obviously have like her massive huge crush and gay lesbian fantasies about Rio, but then to also have her very clearly admire Bocchi's ability to play and the sound that she creates and want it to push her further. I adore the elements of Kita and Bocchi that we get in these last couple of episodes.
Kita's pog.
Yeah.
I am surprised how much I like Kita, given the fact that I think in a different show, she might grain on me. I think this show has really used her well, and I think her bits are always actually really funny.
For Kita Aura.
The Kita Aura is really funny a lot of times. Guys, what are we gonna do? Do we have to vote? Can we just
No.
acknowledge that we're all
No.
gonna slay Sword?
No. Yes.
Is anyone gonna post anything else just for funsies?
No.
For the numbers?
No.
No.
Yeah.
The only reason I'd want to vote is if I had a funny nickname to send in, but I don't have one.
How do you like this episode title?
Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention.
Schrodinger's Fran, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm
there's a
setting
video out
Mhm.
about Bocchi the Rock by one of my favorite YouTubers about mixed anime stuff lately. His name is it's Hiding in Public, I believe.
Hiding in Public.
He made a video about Bocchi the Rock and like some of the interesting things it does about like if you look at the staff, by the way, on the show, almost every single person from the director down to the fucking voice cast is almost brand new to the industry. It's actually insane.
Which is wonderful.
How green everybody on the show is.
The thing that gets me about Bocchi is the fact that they made this show out of a 4-panel gag manga that's okay at best.
Yep.
You know what really blows my... I'm so happy because Michael and I come across so many of the shows in preparation for the next seasons where we're like, this is such a cool concept, such a cool idea, and then we see source material, 4-panel, and we go, oh, it's gonna be short form. I'm so happy this was not short form and that this was the product of what we got, because this show has been incredible. This is by far the biggest surprise of the season for me.
Yeah, this was the sleeper hit.
This and Eminence, because Jesus Christ. Two different reasons for why they were both like standouts for the season.
I mean, what can I say? I know how to pick them, baby. Just saying.
Yeah, you had a real good set of 3.
Yeah, you had a good You had a good season.
I put in a chance to become my title. You know what? We'll take it. Yeah, I put in a very solid attempt at reclaiming first place this season. We'll see how it ends up panning out.
Look, I want to reclaim my crown. I want to keep more than a 50%.
I don't know why you guys are talking like Michael's not going to win this season.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys just don't understand.
Don't you know we have a new feature where we're gonna reel Do It Yourself back out of its grave, and we're gonna all vote it for a winner?
No, so what we do is I'll switch Chainsaw Man out, and then we can still put DIY in third.
Let's go.
And kill it again.
And make everyone even more upset, because instead of putting Sword up here, we're putting DIY.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So since we're, I can read off the results that I don't have, but we all know is going to happen. Full saves on everything but Sword, which has 4 slays.
Yes.
Peace.
I will say, Gundam comes out Sunday or Monday. We'll have to see how everyone's feeling about doing the episode, or if we'll want to wait to give it some time. We'll have to see about whether we do next week. We might find out we don't have a good day, so like I don't want to stress too much about when the final will come out. Shows are gonna start airing soon, but we always gotta let them build up. I've made it very, very clear that we are not starting the winter season until we watch Terror and Resonance. So it will come. I'm super excited because I won't lie, there is a part of me that does really hope that the show doesn't hit with one of you, so I can talk to someone who has that mentality towards the show. Because I cannot comprehend not liking this show. I can comprehend liking it not to the level I like it, because Michael isn't as huge on it as I am. He likes it from the last time we watched it, but Doggos.
Dogs.
Wonderful.
Hello, dogs.
I know family.
And also Michael's mom.
Dog, there's multiple. Look at them. Look at those good boys.
Well, I think one's a girl.
Good boy 1. Good boy 2 is not moving. He is firmly staying there.
Yeah,
one's
dogs.
a girl. One's a girl, right?
Yes. The one that's currently on my bed. Other one's gone right now. This is my brother's dog. This is Scrappy. He is boy.
The other one's a girl, right?
He's being a butt. Yes, that is Winnie. She is old lady.
Yeah. She's your dog,
he's been
right?
being a butt. Yeah. Yeah, dog. Scrappy.
That's a yawn.
Dog.
I like his bandana.
I do too.
Good bandana.
His handkerchief around the neck is very good.
Van Damme the dog.
Yeah, so things that will probably come out in between this season and next. Something for Ruby. We are almost assuredly gonna finish volume 7. 8.
Yeah.
7? 7. We're on 7.
7.
We're almost
We're on
assuredly
7 now.
gonna finish 7, and we'll do the 4 to 7 review. And then at some point we'll watch 8. We'll talk about that, but that's a whole nother thing. Michael and I probably will not do anything on Tamers, because I think that we've watched it too spaced out to have a concrete idea of things to talk. We would really probably only talk about the ending. We might as well just do that on a podcast, kind of, if we can.
I would like at some point to do something like when we end up watching Tamers again, to like go and talk about it, since it's the only Digimon content that I've actually wanted to absorb.
I would love for you to watch through Tamers, and then for me to subject you to Frontiers.
Oh god.
Frontier's
So
the
that-
next one, right?
Yes, so
That's-
that you can go, or actually, what I think would be really interesting is for you
X-Rock
to
Wars?
watch the Adventure reboot with us. Because Michael and I haven't seen. I think we maybe watched the first episode, and it's been so long I don't remember
Yeah.
it. But it'd be really interesting to have fresh eyes on the Adventure reboot because Michael and I, it's still very clear in our memory what the original is. I think the only thing Michael might not remember is O2, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. O2's like
Yeah,
mid.
O2 sucked anyway.
It's fine.
No, O2's fine.
It's fine. It does.
Davis and Ken are very good.
It does indeed have one of my favorite dubs of all time. Does this a nice friend?
Nice thing you got. Nice
Would be-
thing you got there, Davis.
Would be a shame if something would have happened to them.
That's not actually a line he says. But boy, is that what we expect the line to be.
It really
Also, his
does.
mom.
Yeah.
His mom and the weird ass food she makes.
I love anything that comes from the Digimon movie is gold. That movie is incredible.
You try to tell a girl you're sorry, but the internet just won't let you. It's been what?
You just see all the Digimon pop into the screen and you just watch Gundam turn and walk into a corner.
Gundam is broken.
That movie is bad shit insane. I would sure love to see the egg that thing came out of. Polly want a cracker? A really big cracker? Did you see that? I was sleeping. You're the one driving.
He's only in elementary school, but he's taking classes at MIT. Yeah, but I'm in junior high school, and I take classes for junior high school. Huh. That movie is the most quotable fucking thing ever.
The
The thing is, I've seen
Family season
every
2,
single.
you guys haven't seen it yet. It was good.
what, John?
Spy Family season 2. I finished that as well.
I'm gonna. That's in an odd spot. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
finish it. That's in an odd spot. We'll see how
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's one of
understandable.
that's one of those
Understandable.
things where it's on the table for us to do it, and I go, but do I? It's complicated. But I do want to finish it. No, there is an element of the Digimon movie that nobody is ready to experience. This is the last thing I'll say about it, which is you get to the kind of heartfelt ending that part of the movie has, and then you just see what's the guy's name? What's the blonde's name from that movie? It's the one who Davis interacts with. I'm trying to think of his fucking name.
Yeah, I don't remember. Seems like
Is it Michael? Is his name Michael?
it might be. It's like
His
some
name might be
super
Mike.
generic white kid name.
Yeah, it's very but he's just there with his Digimon and he's like, you really are something, huh? And then it just hard rolls All-Star over it.
Just get over it. Okay.
Somebody wants... Yeah, that scene is hilarious. Mason, by the way, I really, really hope that is the scene that ends this season of Chainsaw Man.
I hope so too. I would be.
I
would
hope that
love
scene
so
happens and the
much.
credits just roll over it.
Yes, please.
Actually, wait.
But
So, how? I'm gonna check a thing.
We
You
will-
do this stuff.
we will see you guys coming up soon. Again, so Ruby content probably coming out. How good is Terror and Resonance? Picking shows for next season will probably be done when we watch at the end of the Terror and Resonance review. It tends to be how we do it, or we'll do it at the end of the finale. It depends. We'll see how it matters. And then I have some stuff that I want to get done coming up. That I need to kind of get back on top of because things have been a little hectic, but I think I'll have time to start doing it. That I feel pretty good about. And potentially, we'll see how Mason feels about it. Maybe we'll do some video game content and we'll talk about how Mason felt about 999 when he beats it.
Yeah,
Because
I'm excited.
oh boy, is there so much to talk about in relation to that piece of media in existence. By the way, today's video title is to get Mason ready for VLR when this topic comes up there. Can you believe that Ushikoshi holds on to Schrodinger's cat until the second game? Crazy, right? It is wonderful what things he decides should be in the first game and which ones he's like, no, I wanted to save these for the sequel. And then you get to the third game and he goes, Snarl. a single solitary snail. Bob's my favorite snail. Mason, I cannot wait to show you my large compilation of Zero Escape memes playlist I have, where it's just some of the most unhinged content you have ever seen on the internet. It truly is a time. But that'll be it for tonight. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming out.